Hey there, I'm Guy, and for those of you that are learning Lenormand, I want to address some Lenormand myths. So, firstly, this myth that negative polarity cards are inherently negative, right? So, when we hear the word negative or we think of the word negative, we think of just that. We think of things that we just don't want to be a part of. We think of things that are um, difficult or not in our best interest. And that couldn't be farther from the truth in the Lenormand. So, negative polarity cards in the Lenormand represent challenges. And while challenges are uncomfortable, when we are uncomfortable is when we tend to grow. It's when we tend to evolve. So these negative polarities are not necessarily negative events, but more so challenges or events that are uncomfortable. Secondly, traditional Lenormand readers, and I am a traditional Lenormand reader, they are very staunch and stoic about sticking to the binary system. So the Lenormand was originally conceptualized on a binary system. So there's two querent cards, which is the man and the woman. However, um, when the Lenormand was made, there was not inclusive language. Not all peoples were represented, right? So we can modify that binary system. We can still use those binary cards without discounting or misrepresenting someone's energy. So this is something that I cover in my class, and I talk about this, and I say you can't interpret a client's energy if you can't represent or recognize a client's energy. So, as far as the binary system goes, really, man, woman, you're going to go with whatever they identify as your querent card. And for those that do not identify as a non-binary, you're going to use the garden card. And this is a method I've developed, and I talk about this in my class. And it would just be too much to talk about to fit into a TikTok video. But um, you can absolutely work within the system of the Lenormand without being locked into a binary, and I think that's a big important one. Another myth with the Lenormand is that you have to have some kind of card reading experience to be able to read the Lenormand. Just because the Lenormand has a little bit more um, advanced reading concepts in it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to have previously read a card system or that you have even had to do any intuitive development previously. The Lenormand can absolutely be taught, and your intuition can absolutely be developed as you read Lenormand. Matter of fact, a lot of people experience a lot of intuitive development, and intuitive development is something we cover in my coaching. So yeah, that's just a couple myths that are now busted about the Lenormand.